This Good Morning Northwest morning spread is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is 6:53, time to get you ready to take on your Thursday in the morning sprint. President Biden is visiting Philadelphia today to talk about the economy. Sydney Charles has details. We are expecting some hot temperatures today. Peter Choi has tips on how you can keep your family safe from the heat. But first, let's get to Mark telling us just how hot it's expected to get.
All right, thank you. First Alert Weather, and that First Alert Weather app would be a great addition to your phone so that you have it right in the palm of your hand. Currently 62 degrees into Coeur d'Alene. We've got a clear sky, little bit of haze, 65 degrees currently. And we do have right now the air quality good, but could bump into moderate. 64 into downtown currently, 61 Deer Park. We've got low 60s into Idaho. Here's the day today, warming up by 8 o'clock, 71, by noon, 90, and our high today around dinner time, 97 degrees.
And if you have young children or no elders and anyone with pretty existing health conditions, you might want to hear this for their safety in hot weather. Spoken Fire says if you are starting to experience heavy sweating, pain in your body, or muscle cramps, those symptoms might be warning signs for heat cramps. And drinking alcohol in the heat is no help. Remember, find an indoor with AC before it becomes more serious sickness, such as heat exhaustion. And wear light-colored clothes in hot weather. Avoid walking your dog and doing yard work in direct heat. And Spoken Fire says doesn't recommend to take cold shower right after being outside in the heat.
The state of Idaho rested its case against 5 members of the white nationalist group Patriot Front. 31 members were arrested last year during a Coeur d'Alene Pride event. Today, the defense will call witnesses and closing arguments could also begin. The 5 men on trial are Forrest Rankin, Devin Center, Derek Smith, James Michael Johnson, and Robert Whitehead. In the back of, they were found in the back of a U-Haul with objects like shields and protective equipment. Police said they were on their way to the event to cause a disruption. 4 News Now will be in the courtroom today. We'll bring you the latest updates. On August 1st, voters in Airway Heights will decide the future of the fire department. The city of Airway Heights says it is trying to keep public safety a priority, but the fire department is not able to keep up with the city's growth. The current fire station has several issues: a roof that isn't tall enough and facilities that fall short. The Airway Heights Fire Department has a grant to buy another building just a few blocks away, but will only get that grant if voters approve a 30-year bond to renovate the building to be a fire station. It's an investment the community fire chief, Mitch Metzger, says desperately needs. You can read more about this story on KXLY.com. Discussions are still in the works to build a Chick-fil-A at what is now an empty parking lot on Spokane South Hill. While no dirt has moved on the project, people on the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council stand firmly on opposition to the future development. Real estate managing broker Chris Bell argued it is the perfect place to build the fast food restaurant. While some neighbors say there's no need to create more jobs in the area, Bell says his client will continue to work with Chick-fil-A to find a site plan that is acceptable to the city of Spokane and the neighborhood council. It's been more than a week that a section of Freya Street closed to repair several water main breaks and the road on top of those pipes. The city of Spokane saying work will continue well into the rest of this week at 13th and Freya. The city had planned to replace those old pipes in the near future, but was forced to move the project up when the water main break created a sinkhole.
And this morning, President Biden will be at a steel cutting ceremony in Philadelphia, where the White House says he'll announce the first ever made in America offshore wind vessel. The massive project, employing more than 1,000 union workers, and estimated to have an economic impact of $125 million every year. The announcement comes just one day after the Biden administration also revealed a crackdown on companies that charge consumers hidden fees. The administration also laying out new guidelines for corporate mergers as they push Bidenomics.
Next on Good Morning America, the third indictment of former President Donald Trump could come as early as today, with a former aide to the president expected to appear as a witness. And nothing beats the feeling of home. It is a feeling a lot of people are searching for across the inland Northwest. 1 million new homes are needed in Washington to keep up with population growth over the next 20 years. Lawmakers are betting multifamily housing is the key to achieving that goal. And more home buyers are choosing smaller cities like Rathdrum and Post Falls. With the rapid growth, are those smaller cities prepared for future developments? If you've lived in the inland Northwest for as little as 5 years, you've seen the big changes. 4 News Now continues to take an in-depth look at what's being done to change the way we approach affordable housing. You can find our complete coverage on the Inland Northwest housing crisis, including several stories about possible solutions on KXLY.com. Back with weather after this.